Hi everybody, Sandra here from Create in Spain and welcome to my channel. Hope you're going to enjoy the video today. Now I wanted to start off with a tip for something that you're going to need to do for today's project. I have here a cellophane bag, well part of one because I've cut quite a lot off it by now. And because I want a long strip, what I tend to do is to put it into my trimmer and cut it. Now, even if I hold this down, sometimes I found it's so slippery that the blade doesn't actually cut it that well and you end up with a bit of a wobbly line. But there's a way to get around that. All you need to do is take a piece of normal printer paper, put your cellophane wherever it is that you want to actually put it. So you might want a nice thin strip. So get it level where you want it to be and just put a finger on it so it's not going to move. Move the blade up properly, that always helps. And just slide a piece of paper over the top. Now when you hold that down, straight down and over here somewhere, there will be a nice straight strip of cellophane. Oh God, I've been getting a lot of outtakes today. I've never had that happen before. It didn't cut. I don't believe that. It's the curse of the video making. I swear it has to be. Right, let's try that again, shall we? Line it up. Push the piece of paper over. And there we go. And it's done it this time, of course. There we are. So there is the strip, whereas this one, of course, didn't come off too well. Never let it be said that I don't let you see the occasional outtake. Anyway, it generally works really, really well. So this morning I have my two hearts which were stuck together. I confess that is not the original hearts. I had to cut it again because I managed to wreck the card. Oh dear, oh dear. I tried putting this together with some staples and then the staples wrecked the cellophane and the mechanism stopped working. So yeah, I have had to start again. I've done the front element of the mechanism, which is just got a sentiment and a cat sat on it. So that one's done out of the way. And I've backed it with the heart, which wasn't quite the right shape. I've backed it with that just to give it a little bit more substance. Please be patient with me. It's early in the morning. It's now 7 o'clock and I was doing this at 6 and it all went painfully wrong. So I have a strip of acetate, which is approximately 15 centimeters long. Found out where the halfway point is and I have folded it at approximately 90 degrees. You can just about see it there. So I'm going to take a little bit of double-sided sticky tape, a very small bit, and I'm going to put that inside the fold to keep it together. So just put it like that. Important that there is no sticky tape showing outside of there that can be sticky on some other surface. Okay, so you don't want to have it sticking out here or down here or to the sides. Must be enclosed in the plastic, otherwise you will get in a right mess. So my basic strip of cellophane is going to be threaded through. Now this happens to be double simply because it's the bottom of a bag. So I figured actually that's probably quite good. It'll make it a bit more resilient. And I need to put a bit of double-sided tape on the end of here. Right on the end. make sure that it's not really, really loose, but not really, really tight either. And then stick that down, trim off the excess. And I find it's a good idea to put a little sliver of sticky tape over that area there, just to make sure it's not going to cause any problems. So this is now going to freely rotate, hopefully. Yeah, like so. Okay. Now, what I want to do is to make sure that when this joint is to the right hand side as far as it will go, because that will stop it from going around the corner, that this gets joined on the back of it to the other side. So you want it so that the tab is in, basically, and you want to join that along there. Again, a tiny amount of double-sided tape on the end of it. And you can see where it went wrong. I had staple marks in the back of this. More of the tail, don't use staples on it. I've done it before and it's been fine, but this time, no, it didn't want to know. So make sure that goes along nice and straight. There we are. And then we want to put some double-sided tape just a little way away from there. Not really, really close, but it's going to need to be a little bit away from there. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this particular idea works, because it needs to be kept in tracks, but I didn't like putting the foam on the back. I thought it just made it too bulky and it didn't keep the strap down properly. So my first thought was, oh, just put a strap of card across the back there, and I thought, well, I might as well just stick another heart over the top, hadn't I? So I have another heart, and that should fit there quite nicely. And I should now be able to do that. Yes, it's working, it's working, yay. I've even got a sound effect for some reason. I don't know quite why. Okay, so what I want to do is to pull this about halfway. So it's quite easy to see when it's halfway, because that's where your joint's going to be. And I want to put some double-sided sticky tape on the back of here. Now again, it needs to be only on the plastic, nowhere else. And that then goes in the center, like so. Now it doesn't really matter if these two are absolutely even, because you can change the position of the critters that you're going to put on there. So if I pull it out, the critter on this side is going to be fully exposed. Now this heart is slightly larger than this one. So in order to make it fully exposed, it needs to be out there, which is quite easy. And I have my critters here. Now these particular two have got tails sticking out from one side to the other, and I thought it better that the tails stick out in that direction, outwards rather than inwards. But you know, it's just a case of whichever way you want to do it. And these are print and cuts from Pixabay simply because I was having so much problem with a card I was trying to do yesterday that I was really glad I hadn't bothered to do my own images and colour them in. So I'm going to put this cat just here, and then when we put the other side in like that, this cat is going to go over here. Now these may or may not be completely hidden when the card is put together. I'm really not bothered about that. If you are, then you need to be very careful about the placement of your critters, and that will depend on the angle that you've folded your acetate, the size of your critters, and exactly where you've put them. So if this goes over here, it's going to be just about there that my tape needs to go, and put my little cat up here. Now I've no intention of repositioning these no matter what, so I'm just going to trim off the excess acetate so you can't see it. This is actually draft excluder. Do I want it raised up that much? Actually, yeah, I probably don't mind. Not for this one. The other foam I've got at the moment is so sticky because it's so humid I can barely use it, and I can't be bothered, I really can't be bothered to try and use it. It's just sticking to absolutely everything. Oh, that was lucky, wasn't it? Exactly the right length. Wow, I did judge that well. And that one. Okay, and then I need to make sure they are lined up. There. Mechanism sorted. So I have my card base here, which is just a plain white one with a front panel put on of a patterned paper, which I happen to have. And I've put some double-sided tape on the back of my mechanism, and I'm going to put it over to one side slightly, like that. There we go. And if I grab this, ta-da! It works. Now, one thing that I do notice I could have done with having that mechanism raised up slightly, so the whole thing could possibly have been raised. I won't raise it because I've got the foam pads in between here, and they were thick foam pads, but normally I'd have used a thinner foam, put one layer in between the heart and then one layer underneath there. I'm not going to go mad with embellishments, but I do have this chunky iridescent glitter, which is a bit of fun. So here's the finished card. I've put a little cat on the inside. Just a little bit of subtle shimmer and shine from that tiny amount of glitter, but very, very little. I didn't want this one to be over the top. Unlike on my video hop, which I'm doing for the 7th of September. I'm organising a video hop. If you want to take part, you need to let me know by the 16th of August. Entries will be needed to be in a week before the actual date, so we're talking the 31st of August. The details are on my blog, and my blog link is up on my home page. And if I remember, I'll put the link to the blog down below here as well. So there we go, a cute little card. It's taken me a while to get there, got there eventually. It isn't actually difficult to do, that's the infuriating thing. It's just that everything seemed to be going wrong for me. But there we are. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.